In a bold cross-border operation, Ukrainian Special Operations Forces executed a successful ambush on a Russian military convoy in the Kursk region of Russia. The attack, meticulously planned and executed, resulted in the destruction of a Russian military truck and the elimination of all its occupants. Ukrainian troops, clad in advanced 3D leafy camouflage suits for optimal concealment, initiated the ambush with precision. They engaged the target vehicle using a combination of small arms, including rifles and belt-fed machine guns. The ambush culminated with the use of a shoulder-fired anti-tank weapon, which set the Russian truck ablaze. The burning wreckage and the lifeless bodies of the Russian soldiers underscored the devastating impact of the Ukrainian operation. The cross-border nature of this operation left Russian forces on high alert, unsure of where the next strike might occur. The unpredictability of these Ukrainian incursions poses a significant challenge to Russian reinforcements, who are now forced to navigate an increasingly treacherous landscape. In a neo-development, footage from a GoPro camera provided a glimpse into the ongoing operations of Ukrainian forces in the field. A mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicle, identified as a Max Pro, was seen delivering fresh troops and supplies to the front lines. The arriving squad quickly unloaded packs of ammunition and water, seamlessly replacing the outgoing unit, which then boarded the vehicle for extraction. However, as the MRAP made its way out of the area, it was struck twice by Russian FPV drones, highlighting the persistent danger posed by these unmanned aerial threats. In a separate but equally significant incident, Ukrainian drone operators targeted a Chechen fighter who was caught on camera abusing a stray cat near the front lines. The drone footage, released by Ukrainian sources, shows the fighter kicking the cat before returning to his dugout. Unbeknownst to him, a Ukrainian drone was tracking his movements. Moments later, an FPV drone strike was directed at his position, delivering what many online commentators have called justice for the cat. Further footage released by Ukrainian forces reveals a failed Russian assault near the village of Lipsy in Kharkiv Oblast. The video captures Russian infantry being transported to the front lines in MTLBS, Soviet-era armored vehicles, modified with makeshift armored shells. Despite these modifications, the Russian forces were met with a fierce Ukrainian response. Drones directed Ukrainian artillery fire with pinpoint accuracy, targeting the advancing Russian troops and their armored vehicles. This resurgence in Ukrainian artillery effectiveness comes after a period of relative quiet, during which Ukrainian forces were reportedly low on ammunition. However, with recent resupply efforts from Western allies, Ukrainian gunners have returned to form, delivering devastating barrages that have successfully defended key positions such as Lipsy. Holding this village is crucial for Ukrainian forces to keep Russian artillery at a distance from the city of Kharkiv, a major strategic objective in the region. In a dramatic escalation of the conflict, Ukraine reported 165 combat engagements over the past 24 hours as Russian forces launched a brutal barrage of missile and air strikes across the country. According to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Russian terrorists unleashed 5 missiles and conducted 58 air strikes, deploying 71 guided aerial bombs in their attacks. Additionally, they launched 4,365 strikes on Ukrainian positions, including 135 attacks from multiple launch rocket systems. Despite the onslaught, Ukraine's defense forces have delivered a significant blow to Russia's military capabilities. Over the past day, Russian forces lost 1,220 soldiers, 47 artillery systems, and 8 tanks, underscoring Ukraine's resilience in the face of continuous aggression. The situation on the left bank of the Dnipro River in Kherson Oblast has seen a marked increase in Russian activity. However, Ukrainian military officials, including Dmytro Lykovy, noted that there have been no significant changes in Russian tactics or troop composition. The aggressors continue their persistent assaults, with no evidence of a reduction in their numbers or the formation of new assault groups for a large-scale offensive. Positional battles continue to dominate the landscape in the strategic regions of Zaporizhia and Kherson. Fighting has intensified in Russia's Kursk region, expanding towards the borders of the Gleshkovo district. Local authorities have initiated evacuations as the situation deteriorates. Ukrainian forces have reportedly taken control of several settlements, including one located just 17 kilometers from Gleshkovo. While the pace of the Ukrainian offensive has slowed, the operation remains ongoing, with the Ukrainian armed forces making steady advances. The situation in the Kharkiv sector remains highly volatile as Russian occupation forces persist in their attempts to break through Ukrainian defenses. The Kharkiv Operational and Tactical Group reported heavy shelling across all active frontline areas. In the Hlybok area, Russian forces, including the 11th Tank Regiment of the 18th Motorized Infantry Division, are regrouping and preparing for renewed assaults to reclaim lost positions. Meanwhile, internal rotations and evacuation efforts are underway in the vicinity of Lipsy and Staritsia, where Russian troops are fortifying their defenses. In Vovchansk, sporadic movements of Russian troops were recorded as they prepare for continued assault operations. Aerial reconnaissance and artillery strikes on Ukrainian positions remain ongoing, signaling the intensity of the conflict in this area. Notably, cases of Russian soldiers refusing to carry out combat missions have also been reported, highlighting the mounting strain on their forces.